Right, hello and welcome to my loft. I'm going to apologise, my loft has not been converted, so it's a little bit of a mess up here, but it's a good place to stick a big kick bag. Now, this is you can see it's a big bag. I mean, I'm almost 6 foot tall. This is bigger than I am, or taller than I am. It's 100 pounds, so it's a nice heavy bag. It's actually a Muay Thai bag. Now, what I wanted to talk about today, something I've talked about before, is how we use Haito Uchi or ridge hand strike. Now, usually we're taught use the ridge of the hand, what we call the ridge of the hand, that part there. In Taekwondo, I believe they call it reverse knife hand. Okay? Now, I've said before, this isn't the most powerful way of using it. There's a couple of issues with it. First of all, you're hitting on a small joint, okay, which could become damaged relatively easy. So you're hitting on a small joint. Also, to hit with that joint, you've got to be just the right range. If I'm there, I've missed. If I'm there, I'm missed. I've got to be just the right range. Also, it's a great to soft targets. To the temple, cheekbone, side of the neck, jawline, great. But if the person managed to get their head down and you hit the skull, then big bone, little bones, big bone wins. Okay? So it's doing it that way. Yes, it can work, it can be useful, but it requires a great deal of accuracy to be just the right range and get just the right target, which in the melee of a fight, when things are going all over the place, is that you don't really want to be relying on tactics or techniques that require a high level of accuracy. But it can be a fairly powerful technique, so if I just hit that a few times. Okay, now one of the things I said last time, rather than using your hand, use your forearm. Okay, in particular, you've got two bones which go down your forearm, okay, in line with the thumb and in line with the finger. Those two bones go down there, and you want to be hitting with the bone on the inside in line with your thumb. Okay, now when I hit with the hand, fairly powerful. When I hit with the forearm, what's the difference? See, quite a dramatic difference. Okay, now with a lot of circular techniques or techniques coming in from the side, there's a whip-like effect with it. If I take a back fist strike, there's a whipping effect. Now the elbow comes first and the hand snaps round. With a knife hand strike, same thing. The elbow comes first and then the hand whips around. With this one, it's a different effect. Actually, the hand goes first and the elbow follows. So it's more akin to punches, where the hand goes first and the elbow follows. So this one is not having the same whip-like, the same snapping effect as some other techniques have. Rather than snapping, this is more like swinging a baseball bat. Okay, so the other advantage with this is, well, first of all, I'm hitting with a big bone, so I'm less likely to damage myself than hitting with a small bone. Okay, as you've just seen, it's more powerful. And the other thing is I don't have to worry about range. Okay, if I'm slightly far away, I can hit. If I'm a bit closer in, I can still hit. If I'm very close in, I can hook it around the back. In fact, that's a very nice one, coming around the back and striking there at the same time on opposite sides. That's a good pressure point knockout there. So I can, using the forearm, multiple different ranges, more powerful, don't have to worry about accuracy. But just to demonstrate it a little bit more, okay, I've limited space here, so excuse me. Okay, my floorboards aren't very good either. Okay, if I set the bag swinging and I hit it as it's swinging, so 100-pound weight, just to show you the power of this technique, okay? And you can see how easily it stops the bag dead, and the bag kind of buckles and jumps, okay? If I do it with the hand, some effect, but with the forearm, Okay, you can see there's a huge difference in power just from shifting to there to there. And like I say, big bone, not less likely to damage. So yeah, give it a try. Okay. It does make the technique a lot more practical. Very few people actually kind of teach it this way, but it's a very powerful technique. All right, I've had a discussion with people over this where they're adamant that you've got to use the hand because that's the way their master has taught them, and they won't budge on the idea of using the forearm instead. And the answer is normally more conditioning. More conditioning. Well, my argument would be, first of all, why would I want to do a lot of conditioning on that joint? As we get older, we're going to get osteoarthritis, the joint is going to be damaged, our hands are going to be damaged, we won't be able to use them properly. Why am I going to do a lot of conditioning on that joint, which I may damage, for a technique that I'm hardly ever likely to use under real pressure? Because, like I say, the problems with the accuracy and getting the distance exactly right and getting the targets just right. Why am I going to condition that joint and risk damaging it and doing damage in later life over a technique I'm hardly likely to use? This one with a forearm, yes, I'm much more likely to use that one. Okay, have a think about it. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, I hope you've learned something and found it useful. If you have, please like and subscribe below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, because I'm intending to put them out a little bit more regular now. And thank you very much for listening.